Hi, I'm Shane with the Drum Center of Portsmouth. We're in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We're on the web at drumcenternh.com. And this is something that I'm very familiar with and something I love very much, and that is the Sonor SQ1 series. This is the birch shell, and that's what I'm familiar with. If there's anything I love, it's Sonor birch drums. I've had three or four Sonor birch kits. And if I had to choose one drum set, it would be a Sonor birch kit. They have everything I want to hear in a drum. They're very sharp. They have a nice attack and tremendous low end. And that's exactly what I want to hear. I like a note that you hear and then gets out of the way. I don't want a dead drum, but I want a nice sharp sound that gets out of the way. I don't want a tom that goes boom. I want the boom kind of sound, if that makes any sense. And that's what Sonor birch drums have, and that's what these have. And the SQ1 is something that I know that they spend a considerable amount of time developing this line because they really wanted to bring if you're not as familiar with Sonor, they're incredibly expensive, very high-end drums made in Germany. And what they wanted to do was bring that same experience at a more attractive price point, so that people they could have a wider audience. There's more people would be able to play these and feel and just be able to experience the Sonor thing. Because if there's anything I've ever said to people, you don't know anything until you play these drums. These sound and feel they're very different than everything else that's out there. And so you can theorize all you want, but you really need to sit down and tune them the way you like them to really understand what it's like to play these drums. Why are they so different? Well, the way they make their shells is completely different from everybody else, and it always has been. The shells are laid up vertically, and they're undersized by about 12 millimeter. And what happens is when you undersize it like that is that the head floats on the shell. The collar of the head is not hugging the shell, so the head floats on it like a timpani, gives it a nice staccato effect, gives it that nice sharp sound. So it also gives it a different feel, and that's what I am so addicted to. I love the rim shots on those toms, because it just makes me want to pick my stick back right up and hit it again and harder and louder. And when I was gigging out, I was using the birch Sonor kits because they sound consistent in every room. That's one thing that's really important to me, is that if I played in a room with a low ceiling on a maple kit, I would get a very round tubby sound, which I didn't like. But if I was in a bigger room, they would sound great. Well, I didn't make the schedule, so I didn't know where we were playing, and I found that once I got my birch Sonor kits, all of a sudden it was like, wow, these sound great in every room. And I was actually using Audix D4s on the toms at the time, and the sound people would always just be like, oh my God, that kit out front is just incredible. So I could go on and on and on about these drums. They really nailed it with these. They're just great sounding drums. The price is, in that mid-2000 price point for high-end Sonor kit, it's amazing. Now, some of you might be like, well, I could get a Mapex this or a Pearl that, and yes, you could. But this is a different thing. These aren't to be compared. They're totally different drums. And that's not saying that they're better than anything else. It's just a matter, that's all subjective. It just happens to be my choice. And maybe it's yours too, and hopefully we can help you with that. So they really worked hard on this particular mount, which is really, really cool. It basically is there's a nice rubber isolation. So basically it doesn't have a bulky rims mount. It's a nice clean, so if you want a multi-tom setup, it stays right out of the way, and it allows the drum to sustain as much as you need, which is nice. It's a nice clean look, and they put them on the floor tom as well, which is a really nice touch because the floor toms have a little bit more ample resonance. So they sell these in the 3-piece shell packs. This is a 2212 and a 16, and I have the optional 6.5 by 14 snare, which has the flange tubes, which is really nice. Sonor makes these big, massive die-cast tubes, which are good, but I find that they can be a little bit boxy on the birch snare drums. So this gives it a nice open sound, so I'm totally digging that.